If you're looking for great quality outdoor gear, check out thegreatnorthapparel.com. They do men and women's t-shirts, coats, tank tops and more. They use recyclable materials and part of their profit goes towards the environment, so you are contributing to a good cause with your purchase. Use the discount code TRAINING at the checkout and get 30% off. I'll add a link to the description. Welcome to episode 23 of 20 Talking Truth. Okay, so here we are, episode 23 or 24 of Training, Thought and Truth. I think it'll be 23. So this is called 1 Year to Change. Tom, who was on a previous chat with me and Paddy, come back for this. And we actually touched on this a little bit from the last topic.
Yeah.
Where you were talking about your weight loss and your injury and, you know, how it held you back in certain ways.
Yeah.
But first, now that we're kind of one-on-one, we'll first get to know like who you are, you know, what you work at, your age, and we'll build up from there.
Well, my name is Tom Dunne. I'm 34 years old and I'm a driver.
Okay.
And a father.
And
a husband and a general all-around good guy.
If I don't say so myself. What we're really going to say, like, the impact is what, you know, how much a year can impact, you know, how much it can make. Like, even if we said like that, we were only really talking from Paddy Stagg's last year.
Yeah.
But this, you know, what brought us here, you know, to say in less than a year's time we'll be sitting here talking about our mental, physical and spiritual goals, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the week before the Stags.
I thought you were mad.
Yeah, I said, what's a podcast?
You know? It's like, there's no way anyone I know could do a podcast.
Well, it just shows the impact a year can make. And I think that's the main, you know, reason we're here as well. Timing wise, like, why do you think this has to happen now? What brought it? Did you reach a level, or are you just frustrated with certain things, or what are, you know, why right now?
It's just a combination of everything, you know. I'm just sick and tired of making excuses. You know, like, I did it before and put the weight all back on and just feel general guilt because of that. Just letting myself down. And it was the first day of Lent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, funny enough.
And I text my wife and I says, right, that's it. I'm finished with just being unhealthy, and I'm so heavy. I can just, like, I was thinking to myself, I can barely tie my shoelaces. It's just like little jobs are just getting too hard. I notice it. I can feel like how I'm being obstructed by my weight in doing simple things. I was like, right, I'm sick of this, and I just have to put my foot down and make a change and get back to where I was before.
Yeah. And do you think, I remember, it actually reminds me of when I had Neil in here in episode 2, you said to me, he was saying about the simple things, you know, tying his legs.
Yeah, and I remember that, yeah.
And you said that hit home a bit.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that message as well you had with, you sent to Gretzky.
Yeah.
You know, do you think you're more so inclined to change it now? Like, would you have been sending messages last year but not just rising to the occasion? Or do you think that this year is really kind of the last 6 or 7 months, or, you know, 2019, 2020 now, it's now at a stage where you're like, no, really, I want to get this right?
Well, I've been saying that to myself for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But lying to myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew that, like, I kind of, like, I could say it, but I knew I wasn't going to stop. I was going to keep eating. I was going to keep being unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's just something's after clicking with me that I just don't want to be like this anymore. I want to be my best self, if you get me.
Yeah. Because I know, like, I've great faith in you for this year, and I know, like,
there's a lot of people saying it like that.
Yeah.
Just giving me a lot of it's motivation, just to help, like just saying good luck, do you know, like best of luck.
Yeah.
And I'm taking that all on board, and like I'm not doing it for anyone else, do you know.
Yeah.
If it helps anyone close to me, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's good, no problem. Anything positive is good.
Yeah.
So, but I'm doing it for myself.
But sometimes, like, I remember my uncle telling me years ago, you know, when you come to your own, sometimes you have to be selfish with your time to get yourself, you know, because really at the end of the day, like, you look after your health to promote your longevity, which helps people in turn, because you're going to be around more and you have a better quality of life, and you know, everything flows better, you know. But like, say, like obviously we were saying the impact of a year can be great, and sometimes a year can do nothing. Do you feel like in the last 3 years has much changed from March 2019 Tom to March 2020 Tom?
No, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed, right?
Nothing's changed. I'm the exact same person I was last year. Mentally wise, but I'm not in a good place, if you get me.
Yeah.
I'm not super Mr. Positive or anything like that. So I want to change. Physically is very important to me, and also mentally is important to me. Do you know? But I feel like my mental health will improve with a physical change.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's definitely something that definitely happens. I think they're tied together. You know, so like we'll run through then the 3 T's, we call it, the training, talent, and truth, right? So we'll trash it out then.
Sure.
So training, right? What does that term mean to you right now?
I don't do any training.
So it's non-existent.
It's non-existent, absolutely non-existent. As of this moment, I do nothing.
Okay. We'll talk about that. We weighed in there just to see where we are from the first day. So at the moment, you're weighing the 21.
Impressive figures.
Well, you're weighing. Did the figures surprise you, first of all, or you know where you are?
No, I knew where I was.
Yeah,
I knew where I was.
So you're 21.9 stone, 36.9% body fat. Water retention, not so important, but you're 43.5. Muscle mass, it depends. There is a healthy scale of it as well, but you know, you are within healthy 33.2. Bone density 12.5. It's fine. And now the calories to maintain that weight were 4,122.
It's a big number.
It's a big number. That's per day. Yeah. So if you eat anything less than that, technically, you know, well, you expend calories when you're moving around.
Like I weighed myself today, I weighed myself last week, and I think I weighed myself last month. The number's the same. Right. So I'm eating 4,122 calories a day.
Do you feel like you're doing that, yeah?
Some days I don't, but I must be.
Yeah.
Like the numbers are the numbers. There's no point lying about it. I'm obviously doing it.
Yeah, well, when we think about if we're moving, we're burning calories. We're burning calories sitting here right now. Yeah. It's at a slow pace. So, you know, it's a lot of calories there to just be consuming or keeping matched, you know.
But like at the same time, I knew I was 21.9. That number hasn't changed. Yeah. So what am I doing to keep it like that? I'm eating enough to keep it like that, but I must be doing something physically wise to maintain it at that weight. Yeah. But that's it. It's just basically maintaining that absurd number.
If I drew a line and said, right, okay, what's healthy and what's where you are? So if we go to weight, you're 6 foot. And now BMI is a term I know is thrown out around. It doesn't take into account muscle mass, but it's not so important here. Really, like you dropped down to 16 stone. Yeah. When you were doing it. Yep. And it's good weight. It's a healthy weight. Probably, you know, it can depend on your frame as well and genetics. And people do have heavier bones, even though we say that. But still, you'd be looking around 14, 15 for healthy. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, it's tough. It's 6 stone away. But if you were down, you know, 2 or 3 stone, I'd say it impacts you massively. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
once you get rolling,
Yeah.
you will level off.
Yeah.
So we would say 22 stone basically, right?
Yeah.
Just under.
Yeah.
If you're looking at an aim of 16.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the long-term goal. I guess the initial goal will be to start going down.
Yeah, but we'll look at a year projection in a bit, where what's realistic within a year. A year, it's a long time in some ways. It's not so long in other ways in terms of physiology changes. But definitely, you could do with it. Like a few stone is not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't think so.
No, absolutely not. Body fat 27% or 37% basically. So that's,
I don't know, is that good, bad?
It'd be quite high in terms of, you want to be under 24, which seems like a good bit off for healthy. That's the healthy ranges. I think it's healthy is 18 to 23. If you're under that, you're athletic, and it goes super athletic under that. And there's you need about 4%. That's what you need to survive.
Yeah.
You see weightlifters and bodybuilders who compete, and that's obviously the other end of things. Or big time athletes are under 10, and they aim for under 10. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at definitely 15% to cut, which seems like a lot.
It does.
Not in a year, but the 20s would be the aim, I'd say.
Yeah.
If you got in the 20s, which again will drop quite quickly if we do this right.
I'm not sure how it works, but if I went from 33 to 25, 26 in a year.
Yeah, well, you're 37 basically. So if you went...
Oh, it's 30. Oh, I thought it was different.
36.9.
Oh, yeah.
If you went down to under 30...
I think that'd be good. I think it's a realistic...
Look, any progress is good. You know what I mean? If once it's on that graph that's pointed downwards. Water intake, you've probably upped this recently, I'd say.
I have.
And you feel the better for it?
Yeah, it's strange how it works, because I never drink water. Literally never drink water. It'd be the odd time you get a craving. I have a bottle of water here beside me. Yeah. And literally it'd be the odd time you get a craving, and I'd get a cup and I'd fill it maybe 3 or 4 times. And that could be the only water I drink in a week.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is shocking. Because
that's even, like you said, you felt your mood lifting.
Yeah.
With more water, and it's probably flushing the toxins from the brain and all. Certain food has bad toxins, even certain drinks. Mm-hmm. But water is pure. Mm-hmm. We're 70% made of water. It just filters you completely, gives you a clear head.
Just last couple of weeks, 2 liters a day.
Yeah, it's good.
A minimum, really trying hard to get that 2 liters in.
Right. Okay.
And it's strange how it works, but you do feel a little bit better mentally wise.
The less food you eat, the more thirsty you'll be. There's a good substantial percentage of water that we get from food. So the way I do.
So that's where I'm getting my water. So.
Well, you do food, you wouldn't even think it.
Yeah.
But also your coffee intake is water as well.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But when you think about when I went on fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Now I drink water and water and water, 4 to 5 litres minimum kind of thing.
But is this are you just drinking it because you want to drink it, or are you drinking it because you have to?
I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thirsty.
want it.
I'm missing it from. I didn't know why initially until I read up on it. It's a large portion of our water comes from our food. So probably you'll probably find as you decrease the food, you're going to be reaching with a bottle of water out of instinct. That's it. As if you just run a race kind of thing. Right now I'm thirsty, but I'll take a sip and I'll be fine. But you do feel that thirst,
Yeah.
So that will be one thing. That figure we may see an increase on that then.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Late 40s, 50, you're fairly good there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be too worried about it, but it will increase.
Well, for the longer I leave it at that, the worse I'll be.
Yeah, water also fuels
health-wise.
Fuels your, keeps you more awake and alert. Fuels your body for exercise. All these things. So I hear people saying I
definitely think it's an important aspect of where I'm going. I just need to drink more water.
Well, it's a good first step.
Yep.
It's a great first step. Muscle mass 33.2. So like, there's not really a healthy muscle mass. You know what I mean? Like you can build your muscle mass, you can decrease.
I'm not sure of like what does that number stand as?
It's
like of a normal average.
An average number. It's hard to get averages in muscle mass because it's not seen. You get averages when you're looking at health. You get them from the medical profession and things like that.
Yeah.
Muscle mass. Everyone's day-to-day muscle mass. In the 30s is probably average, I would say. Okay. It's average enough. Like 40. This will increase with any exercise you do.
Yep.
So this number will go up if once you start walking. You know what I mean? Yep. This will go up, and it will go up. You probably look at this will probably rise to about 40, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it seems substantial, but it's not. But like, you know, it will go up. We won't be too worried about that number, though. Yeah. I don't think. You know, like it's great to have muscle mass, and muscle mass is great. You know, the more muscle you have, not having an extraordinary amount of it, but like you said, you hold off arthritis, it fuels your bones and your fibres better.
Yeah.
So muscle is important, but you're good there. You're on average.
I think the most important number there is the weight. I think I just have to get that down.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and the body fat and the weight. You know, we forget about like the weight will go up and down as you go through it.
Yeah.
And like we said, that's why people say this isn't worth it when they weigh themselves every week. The important thing is we won't be weighing in every week, but the body fat will go down even if the other one filters. And the calories, obviously, that is something that probably will be taking a hit.
Yeah.
And you can figure out your diet now. Anyway, we can go through it and see. So let's add. Well, what is your current diet? What would you eat on a day to day? Does it rotate, or is it from the shop? Is it from home?
Well, if you start with breakfast, some days I skip breakfast, but like some days I'm not hungry for breakfast. So if I'm not hungry, I won't eat.
Yeah.
But that has a severe impact later the same day.
How would you mean?
I'll start getting really hungry.
Right.
From skipping breakfast. I wasn't hungry at breakfast, but now it's lunchtime and I'm starving.
And you overeat, or?
Oh yeah, way overeat. Yeah. Always like, if I don't bring lunch with me, that's another mistake I make. And sometimes I don't bring lunch, and it's out pure laziness not making the fucking lunch. Yeah. And then you're reaching for the chicken rolls and the normal Irish deli food, you know, just crap. Yeah. And like you're just stuffing that into my face, and that's it.
So would that be, say last Monday, Tuesday? What is average? Are you going in every day for a roll in the deli?
I have to really think hard not to go into a shop to get anything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I make lunch. Sometimes my wife makes lunch for me. But like if I'm just lazy, I'm not bringing lunch, and that just impacts the diet of the day. Because then I'm stopping, then I'm just picking up everything. Just can't fill that hole, you know? Yeah.
And would you say that then, are there times where you bring lunch, but you still say,
oh yeah,
I go to the shop?
Yeah. 4,122 calories, man. I'm not bringing that with me in lunch.
Would you say that it's a craving, or...
It's a habit.
It's
like a sugar crazed habit, I'd imagine, or just food. I just can't get enough food.
Right.
But it's just how it happened now. Like I said, 3 years of just running wild with it, and now it's time to stop it.
Would you say it can be hard when you're a driver? It's a lot tougher for you to bring in food to eat. Like if you bring it in, it's not going to be a hot snack. It's not going to be a hot meal.
Yeah,
that does impact. Like for people who work in the office, say I do, it's probably easier for me to go get a bag of rice that I can heat up in a microwave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or have porridge sitting there that I have milk on hand. You know, this kind of. I have cutlery. I have all the rest. It is a disadvantage. It is a higher challenge for people on the road.
It is, yeah. There's only so many things you can eat cold.
Yeah, there is, absolutely. And it's monotonous, and
it's the same stuff. Like, now, in saying that, my wife is a brilliant cook.
You have to say that, though.
And but she actually is. I say to her every time she cooks a savage meal. But like, if I have leftovers of the meal, just say it's one of the worst ones would be a chicken curry, lovely, warm. But you have to eat that the next day cold. Like you have to force that in. Like that's the worst one. Anything like that. Like she could make a risotto, a leek risotto. It's beautiful. And that the next day,
cool,
the next day cold. That's great. But like this, like that kind of stuff, I can eat it. Do you know? Like but still, I have the habit. I need that sugar. I need that chocolate.
Yeah, like
you know,
you pass in the shop and the hot deli's there and the smell of it and the sensory
like
smell.
You go into a shop if you want to fill up the van with diesel. So you're walking past walls of temptation, you know, and it's so hard to walk by them. Yeah. I find, anyways.
I'm going to talk about something. We can discuss like ideas for food, right? And I have some that could possibly take you on the road and get going. That could be handy, less prep kind of things, you know.
Yeah, I know. Who was it? The last podcast with Noel. Yeah, you were talking about like kind of healthy snacks and all like that. And like I was listening to that podcast and I was like, are these lads like talking to me or what is going on? Like I just felt like you were saying like, just stop being an idiot about it and just like do your little bit of prep. Get your little nuts, your snacks, your healthy snacks. And I'm just like, geez, I really wish I could just do that. But like, give me that Snickers there. Do you know? But I was like, why can't I just stop and just listen to like the likes, the advice that you hear? But I'm just kind of blocking it out, and I'm not taking it in and saying, I don't need that. But now I feel like I just have to just rewire. I have to rewire.
It is rewiring, and it's rewiring how you see food. You know, seeing it as fuel rather than. We get into these habits. You know, the one thing there's a diet that came out a while ago, and a lot of people still go by it, and it's the small and frequent snacking. Doesn't really work because it creates a bad habit. Yeah. And it makes you. You know, you eat your dinner, you sit at home, watch TV. You're more inclined to. This is where the excess calories come in, to reach for the press because you have to eat something while watching something. It's like
we can't have a cup of tea without a biscuit, you know. It's that's where I'm going. Like, but I just like I can drink my cup of tea, but I'm just like,
you know, it'd be lovely with this. No, it is like, and you know, it's tough to. I remember when I started. I'm going to talk about something that I'm not too sure you'll be fond of listening to, but it is what it is. Right, we'll have to trash it out anyway.
Yep.
So we're going to discuss intermittent fasting for a minute, right?
No way.
It's a new one for the podcast. There's an old Egyptian saying, right, that they found on the walls from 3,000 years ago, and it says basically that we live on a quarter of what we eat. So our bodies are actually going through day-to-day life. We only need a quarter of what we're actually eating. That's from 3,000 years ago, and food addiction in our culture has become so much more. Don't know if that's arisen now. It's not a doctor saying it, but it's a good thing to keep in mind where how much of the food I actually need what's satisfying something that I need to address, you know. So like I do think that like I was looking up, you know, you find very interesting stuff, you know. Basically the fasting sounds like a scary kind of word.
It does,
but really what it is forgetting about breakfast, which you sometimes do anyway. But that's it really, you know. Like I still have my lunch and dinner and a snack or two in between, and it doesn't feel like the first few days you do it, you feel as though I'm hungry, you know. And I work here right beside that cafe, and that cooks rashers and sausages every morning, and I've my window open. And
Jesus!
For a few days, I was like, I sweated off the first half stone.
Jesus!
But it was straight into it, you know what I mean? It says this is the temptation, this is what it is, and that's the way it is. So all I'm saying is that it's the ancient Egyptians used to not eat breakfast, right? They used to have coffee in the morning, which you're still allowed to have. Yeah. And they used to smoke the pipe now. Probably don't do that before work, you know. That's what they used to do.
Anyway.
But that's what they used to do, you know. And the pharaohs, like, they used to have the slaves, and they used to actually drink a beer in the morning before they went out to work and all, you know. They used to have different ways of thinking it. But really, like, it was the 1900s that made breakfast possible, like, more, you know, commonplace.
I'm assuming it was like Kellogg's.
It was Kellogg's. Have you heard it?
Yeah, it was like a kind of a conspiracy of like the whole breakfast thing. It was
It's
the same as everything else. It's a money maker, do you know?
Yeah, well, if you think about it, they brought in, it's break fast. That's what it's two words put together. You know what I mean? That's what breakfast is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, where everyone was commonplace, not eating it that much, where now this is like break the fast, have Kellogg's, And what he sold it on was that he was super Catholicized, indoctrinated in these things, and he said that, you know, men like are less moral. You know, they have less moral thoughts if they don't eat breakfast to keep their mind clear. That's what he sold that on. You can look this up. So he said that to keep us all, you know, healthy relationships and all this kind of thing,
you have to eat breakfast. You have to eat Kellogg's.
Yeah. And then when we started discovering vitamins in foods and putting things in the mid 1900s, sure, like it, you know, most of the vitamins are coming from the milk, probably from the Kellogg's. You know what I mean? Like it's So like they threw that on vitamin D, you know. But anyway, I'm not against Kellogg's. I'm just saying the culture of breakfast. I'm not against breakfast, like, because I say I don't fast every single day. For the most part, I do. The weekend, sometimes I reduce it. I do 18-6. I wouldn't advise that in terms of, because it's a hard one to go straight into. But 16.
So that's 18 hours.
Nothing.
Just water and whatever coffee.
Black coffee. I have 1 cup of black coffee, and I have water, a good bit of water. Now, what I found it helped. Sounds a bit extreme, right? But me and Queen both were thinking about it, and we met up the same day, and we'd both been googling it earlier in that day.
Just coincidence then, like.
I think if Joe Rogan podcast was published, and it probably was sticking out in both our heads, and Joe Rogan was saying he uses it, and GSP was doing the same, and a few celebrities are talking about doing the same. They had two surgeons on who have it themselves and been doing it for years. One of the guys does 1 meal a day. I think that's a bit extreme, but we said we'd try it, and we downloaded the app, and he said I'm doing 18-6, so I was like, fuck it, right.
Is that one of the more extreme ones, or
it is? Yeah. It is.
What's the kind of starting one, like?
So basically, right, anything over 12 hours is where you get your benefit. Benefits in terms of it doesn't. 12 hours is like you eat a meal at 7 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock. You eat your main meal,
and then you're sleeping most of it anyway.
And then you sleep in an hour or two's time, right? Say you sleep at 10:30. You wake up, and that's 12 hours done. Like, you know, and I've there's an app called Zero, and you can open it up, hit it, and it'll give you your timer. Now I'm not so rigid with it. If it's 17 hours, sometimes I eat. If it hits 16 or 15 hours on my lunch, I'll hit stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but once you go for 12 hours, what it does is you burn from your fat stores. You don't feel this happening, but if you go out for a walk, you're doubling. You're pulling straight from the fat stores. So.
Do you feel tired? I know you said it before that like your running has improved dramatically with it. But like at the start, how did you feel energy wise?
At the start, I didn't notice it when I wasn't running. Right, I felt hungry for the first 3 or 4 days, like as if
hungry as in I might punch a wall if I don't get something to eat, or just hungry as in I can wait.
What I surprised was that I reached a hunger point where I was like, this is my cue. My body usually tells me, go eat something. But it never rose above that. Like I realised I'm not going to starve here, and I forgot about it a little bit. And I realised that the hunger gets to a point and it stays there, then it drops off slowly. And it doesn't, like, it's never unbearable.
So it's just this initial hunger trigger.
Yeah, it was the trigger, and your body was reacting, and you know. But after 3 days, that was gone. Some people say do fast, and I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That won't work, because if you do it Monday, you try it Tuesday, right? So that hunger, your body gets used to the hunger and doesn't. After 3 days, you're not hungry anymore. Yeah. So you wake up in the morning. I haven't eaten since 7 o'clock last night. Still now. Now that's too far, because that's right, so I set it for 16 hours. I've done 19 and a half now. Now, I'm not really hungry, but I usually wouldn't go that far just because the day in it.
Yeah.
But I'm fine. Now, actually, I probably broke it with the few calories of milk. I put in my coffee there. So I hit a stop on that, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
Cheating,
yeah. So don't take advice off me. I know.
24-hour fast.
This is good. It's wasting away.
I've done it for 3 weeks now.
But one thing, like, it is scary, but it's ramping up. You see TED Talks on it. You see more and more people talking about it, especially the last year or two. I would say to you that we definitely should try it, even if it's a 15 hour, or even if it's. I would say a lot of people start with 12 hours, but you're not actually getting the benefit till you go over that 12th hour.
So like 12 and 12, like.
Yeah. It's not really.
That doesn't
much
really
fast.
seem.
Most people do that anyways.
Yeah.
So if you did 16:8, we could try that. And it wouldn't. It's not as like if 16:8. What is it really when you think about it? If you eat at 8 o'clock, say you eat your meal at 7 o'clock, so 12 hours to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, and 12. You're eating again at what, 11?
Yeah.
You know where
that seems right.
Yeah, and what you will find, guaranteed, like this, you'll find that your sleep will improve. The quality of sleep will improve.
Well, right? There you are. My sleep is terrible.
That's massive. Like your
late night eating every day.
Yeah. So if your sleep, even just doing sleep, that re-energizes you for. Like if I come in here and I haven't got a good sleep, it's a completely different day than if I did. You know, like your motivation's gone. I probably won't do my run. My mood is lesser. Your whole day from start to finish is gone. I know it can be easy. The temptation of staying up late and like chilling out, because we don't chill out enough as well, and
That's
work can get the best of us. So it's not unreasonable to have a night or two a week where you can relax and chill.
I feel like it's just I come home from work and I just be like, right, I haven't got enough time to chill out. You know what? I'm just going to chill out till like 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, but like, how many snacks am I going to have in between them? I have a fair few. 4,122. Right?
But like, you know, I would say that it's work a go, because this really does work, and you feel better.
Yeah.
You're mentally sharper.
Yeah.
Your sleep quality improves. Your weight drops, and your muscle mass maintains. It's a massive side of it.
Yeah.
And your performance walking or jogging jumps massively.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to jog on a Sunday before starting fasting. I started that night. On the Wednesday, I couldn't get through 1.5k without stopping. I got through 3k from stopping twice. And that day, on the Wednesday, I came in here and I did 7k around here non-stop. And
I remember when you told me, I was like, you were like,
and
what is going on?
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, what's going on here? And then the more I went into it, the more optimally your body works. Like I said, the caveman diet, that's what they call it, because the cavemen years ago would kill.
Yeah.
They'd eat it over 2 portions. They kill in the morning, they cook it and they feed it in the afternoon, and the afternoon and dinner. Then they go out and get a fresh kill.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm not saying, you know, we should go out hunting.
At the same time though, when you I think when you realised that it was making you go further, you started to do a lot more running.
Yes, true enough. So part of my weight loss was to do with the running. But what it allowed me to do is, I had shin injuries for years. Like, it was back as far as we were playing Astro. I used to have to go on goals and have the ice packs. I don't know if you remember that. I used to go down.
I don't remember that.
I had it up until last year, and it deflames. What it does is deflames injuries and muscle tightness and massive benefits.
Yeah.
Sounds like a scary thing, like I said, but you can try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's other things to cut.
That's why we're trying. Like the one that had success with was the Slimming World diet.
Yes, that's right. Which is great.
Which it worked very good for us. Like, now there's a lot of prep in it. A lot of time goes into it. Now I have to say, like, it was my wife again. I can't cook for shit. Like, so she does a lot of work into it. Like, I know a lot of these things are common sense. You know, I just have to step up. Like the likes of sleep. Why am I staying up? Stop staying up. Why am I eating so much? Why am I not doing anything physical? Do you know, like, these are all, I have the answers to these questions.
Yeah.
But I'm just refusing to step up to the mark.
One thing that helps, I found an awful lot. I used to hate going shopping, you know. Me and Tremaine used to fight about who's doing Aldi, you know. I go now because I know what I want to get. And there's so many certain things I want to get that's going to fuel me. I'm going to bring them in for work, and they're going to be handy to make, and it's going to make my week a lot easier. So I run in and I fly through it, and now I know, you know. So the shopping element, even like, I don't know if you ever go Gretzky shopping, or if you,
very rare actually.
But if you went and walk up and down the aisle and say, like, and look at the labels, and we have to read the labels and what fat there's fat, and then there's what saturated fats, and that's the important number. And they label it now red and orange and all that. But even finding,
I never look at those things.
Yeah,
if I'm in the shop, I'm just grabbing. Do you know,
there's a lot of stuff that's labelled as healthy, which is not healthy.
Yeah.
You know, porridge. I sometimes have porridge at lunch. You can still have. It doesn't have to be a breakfast thing. It's a great thing, but you do have to drink extra water because it dries out water. But it's great fuel. You know, with some label.
Yeah.
But I would recommend even 16:8 fast and trying it and also going with the shopping and just seeing. We can list down like a few things to look out for. Where do you shop?
It's everywhere really.
Yeah. So
the shop comes from Tesco, Lidl, Aldi, Pets in a Thai, like, you know, it's just every supermarket. It's not nailed down to one supermarket.
What, jumping on to another part of the physical side, right? Mm-hmm. What are your obstacles with exercising?
Weight is the big one, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's hard to drag around this body.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the last time I was talking about my ankle and my Achilles and all that.
Yeah.
That isn't as bad as it was.
Right. But is it because of less activity?
I think it's, less activity. Like, if I'm active, it's fine. If I'm doing nothing, it's sore.
Right.
I found a stretch that stretches out that part of my foot that it actually makes it feel pretty decent.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So,
but I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So a few things I did look up was about the Achilles treatment, because this is something we're going to have to tackle, because it might come back when you increase.
It's a fear. There's a fear there as well.
Yeah, and we have to be smart about this. You can't say, let's go fucking running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to really build the muscle first because we don't want to step forward and go backwards.
Yeah.
So there is stuff like, you know, toes up towards the heel, feeling if that's sore. Sore in the morning, you said last time.
Yeah.
Apparently,
stiff,
like,
do you know? Like,
when we sleep, we sleep toes pointed, and that creates a stiffness. And the first step in the morning can often be painful.
Yeah.
But like you said, the more activity, the more it loosens, the more you use it and stretch it.
I've gone as far as I was looking up like braces and everything. Do you know,
just supports and stuff.
Yeah, but that's when it was really sore. I'm stiff in the morning. Do you know? Generally, all over, and like coming down the stairs in the morning is. It's painful enough, but then when I get going, it's grand.
Yeah.
You know? But I think and there is like I think it's in my fucking head, to be quite honest with you, that like I'm not doing that. I just need to, like, it's a wall. You need to break it or climb over it.
Well, with this, because we do have to take this seriously as well, because any injury is. So there's 2 proven treatments for this. Treatments in terms of is keeping the calves loose and losing weight. Yeah. Right. So they're
the 2 things.
They're the 2 biggest things, really. The two main things, right? But stretching is building the strength, building the calves, because the calves, tendons, you build a muscle that supports them, and the more weight you disperse will go onto your calf muscles. And so there are stretches that can be helped to do this. And stuff you can do at home easily.
Yeah, I think this ties in with the sleep thing as well. No, I'm too tired to make time for that. Yeah. If I went to bed early, got up early, I'd have time to do a stretch.
Yeah.
But
there is something you can do kind of sitting at home as well. Right. Like, in terms of, so like, if you had a weight on your lap in a seated position and you lift your heels up and back down, 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah. 12 reps very slowly. That apparently builds an awful lot. And weight-wise can, ideally even, is a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a kid is 30 to 40 kilo, and if you just lift your knees up, that really builds it massively. So you can still be watching TV while doing it. You know what I mean? You can still be whatever, but it's very effective. Doing it really slowly. Yeah. But not going, you rise up, but don't go any lower, because we don't want to overextend it, So that's one good way of doing it. If, your walking mechanics... You probably hear me talking about the running mechanics and stuff like that. Yeah. We might have to look at that if you heel strike much.
I'm not sure, to be quite honest, how my step is, like, Yeah.
Well, we can look at that. We can. Another big thing is quality runners. Like, when's the last time you changed your runners?
Probably these ones I have on me at the moment. Gretzi got me them for Christmas. Probably the newest ones I have.
Oh, are they? Okay. And what are they?
Nike. They're pretty squishy.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good impact.
They're nice, and they're actually pretty comfortable.
Right. So we were looking for good impact and good stability. So we have to check if they're actually runners in terms of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to go out and spend the bomb on this. You can do this simply, like, just going outside. But if you find them very comfortable walking,
I even said it to Gretzi there last week. I think these are going to be my runner / walking thing. I think because they are. For some reason, I was under the impression with my ankle that it was like soft, high heel runners were wrong for it. So I was wearing fecking Converse and all that, but that was doing the total opposite thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I only found out recently.
Yeah, because there is a lot of shoes that gear say that they're doing what they're doing, they're not. So like, correct, like a good pair of runners with a good heel to toe drop, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it reduces the stress on the tendon. You know, spending time barefoot or in zero drop shoes can further irritate the tendon. So
see, I was doing the total opposite. So for
Converse
ages.
and stuff like that would irritate the tendon. Like, but so like that is one thing we can look at.
Yeah.
But like you said, them runners look like they're squishy impact. Yeah. They mightn't be running runners, but I don't think we're going to go out and run straight away anyway. So that's one thing. So another thing then is some body weight stuff. Like you obviously heard us talking to all about this. This can be before you go anywhere. You know, we'll be doing the stretches, but you have to build up to like building the core is massive for this. Like, you know, and even, you know, planks planks and stuff like that. That's huge. That will like really help you out in your stuff. We'll be looking out for like telltale signs with if you're stretching your tendon, hotness, swelling, anything like that. Yeah. You know, there's a thing called RICE, which is rest, ice, compress, elevate. Yeah. And that's how you heal them kind of things, you know. And if it's very bad from the get-go, then physio might have to go. But I think that you're saying it's eased off. I think if we do it the right way, we won't need it. So that's, you know, before we tie off the physical side of things, so really what we're looking at is a couple of things. So volume over intensity, right? So the more movement, less intense to get going, okay? Because I think that's
slow and steady, like
slow and steady. You can see when I do my aerobic runs that it builds your base fitness. So don't think as though it's going to be torture. I'm going to go out and kill myself.
What distance do you think I should be aiming for? Like if I went out in the morning and just said
for a run,
for even a slow jog.
Well, I would say practically.
Should I go until I'm tired or go until I'm sore? Or
well, no, definitely not go till you're sore. Because the more recovery you have, the less time you'll spend doing anything, and that's why it's more volume over intensity. So that you'll get more in a week by just elevating the heart rate. Yeah, you know what I mean. So there is heart rate zones, and yours are more specific than mine. It's based on your age, and so your max heart rate is 186. So that's a good number to remember. So
that's my flow.
Yeah, now it's basically it's fairly accurate. It's 220 minus your age. So yours is 186. So knowing that, I know. I guess it's there is apps that take your heart rate if you put your finger up to the camera and all. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go too specific on it. But it's good to know that once you start moving, walking. I get to about 100 beats per minute, 90 to 100 when I'm walking. It's not good enough for me it's a warm-up, it's counted as. The next stage is a slow jog, and that's me in my first zone. And that's what you want to be is, but walking might be that for you. You know what I mean?
Start, like.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Walking, like, could be raising your heart rate enough to start you. And if it doesn't, walk a bit faster, and that's it. Yeah. You know, that's if there's a loop around you, in terms of distance, like, if there's any loops around you or anything like that, like, you know, factory or college,
well, there's a fair, like,
a ring.
The walk that I was doing was about 5k, about 55, 56 minutes of just going balls to the wall, like. Yeah, so I think that's a nice, steady, fast walk, you know?
Yeah, well, I think that's good, but monitor, you shouldn't be really out of breath doing this either. You know, we will be, you know, it's more. It's getting the oxygen in the blood, pumping to all the organs that you're going to be using, the muscle masses, building your lungs up, and it'll feel like you can go way faster, but it's the more frequent the better, because if you run tomorrow, you're sore for 2 or 3 days, you won't get another training session in the week probably. So building the base fitness is what we should aim for. So that's a massive thing. So like people think I'm going to go and run at it. You'll actually hurt your nervous system if you do that too much. And you'll run your pH levels down, your blood and all that. So we'll walk and we'll find a way of checking your heart rate. Which will be all important. And I'll write out the zones for your specific heart rate. Okay. You can aim for within.
Yeah, sweet.
That'll be massive.
Perfect.
So other things is foods to cut, right? So on a basic level, right, if you wanted to cut down, this could be a bit tough as well. It's tougher than it sounds. We're talking about bread, pasta, dairy, and sugar, right? Now,
yes.
we're not eliminating
my diet.
Yeah, be a good staple diet. But this is really what's going to take. You know, bread is tough. I'm off bread for Lent. I don't eat a whole lot of bread, especially not white bread. But I realised how much because they were getting pizza at home and that's bread. You know, like, everything is like. I was having soup the other day. Where's the bread? You know, like I was having, you know, scrambled eggs versus toast. You do notice like the bread, you know, is a big thing. Yep. But white bread balls inside and it absorbs and it just it's terrible for your digestion.
It's one of the things that I get serious heartburn off white bread.
And pasta, everyone thinks that pasta's great. Pasta's great, but if you're not burning it off, it's no good. It just turns to sugar.
Yeah.
Dairy, you know, I'm not saying get rid of dairy, but if dairy can add inflammation when you have too much of it. Like I used to come in here after weightlifting and drink a glass of milk and then have a load of cheese at home and all. It's bad for your skin. It balloons you. Yeah. If you cut it down, well, I'm not saying you don't have to get rid of it, but if I don't know how much dairy you have.
Don't have that much. I have a drop of milk in a cup of tea or a coffee and. Not mad on cheese. Cheese seldom enough.
Yogurts and
no, I don't even go near yogurts.
So you're fairly
dairy wise. I'm about like pasta.
It's
tons
like
of pasta.
Pasta. Bread.
A good bit of bread.
Yeah,
good bit of bread.
So bread and pasta there. Sugar. This would be refined.
Sugar would be like chocolate.
Yeah.
Any kind of snacks. You know, like it's basically sugar.
Yeah, okay. So look, there are 4 core things that we can watch. Anyway, one is handy enough. It looks like we were sorting it. But bread and pasta then we'll have to watch. But now, in saying that, pasta might be your complete enemy if you are going to start more exercising. But
I think it's a thing you have to do with portion size as well. You know, I do have a big portion as of now. Yeah. Whereas like when we were doing Slimming World, my portion was quite controlled. So I think it's just a too much. I just have too much.
Would you fall under the category of having to finish everything you're given?
I won't leave the table until my plate is clean.
Then that's. I know we're rare that way, but that does take a different.
Yeah, and I think it is programmed in. Like if the kids leave something, I'm like, "What are you doing leaving that? Ate that as well." Like,
you'll notice as well, like when you have a takeaway or something like that, there's just more than one serving in it. You know, it's not quite 2. But you pour that in on top, even if you're not hungry. It's no good the next day.
Yeah, a bag of chips, like a bag of chips and a quarter pounder. Say, like you could get a quarter pounder. A quarter pounder is substantial enough. Then you get a massive bag of chips, and I will not leave the table until everything is gone.
So at least you know, like the portion control is massive.
Yeah.
It probably there's an app called MyFitnessPal, and it's a bit
MyFitness what?
Pal.
And
you can log what you're eating, and all you have to do is scan the barcode, and once you do it once, then it'll always come up as a favourite. You know, the kind of way you type in it and it'll remember what you had.
Alright.
But if you logged, it could be worth for 1 week logging your food routine or a couple of days even. It's too monotonous to do it afterwards, too much, you know, in it. But just to see where near that 4,000 calories come from exactly. Yeah. That'll give you a breakdown of fat per food and parts of the day and all. It's a free app. It's quite good to try. And so MyFitnessPal would be decent to try. So we're talking about the fasting to try it. Yeah. Sleep hours. We're talking about 6.5 hours minimum to sustain. I'd say like minimum.
Yeah. I'm on the minimum. Are you? You know, like possibly like it depends on the night. Like, you know, I could come home and I mightn't go to sleep till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. But like it's like I never go to sleep. I pass out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I just have to really just go to bed earlier. Yeah. Do you know, like, but I'm not doing enough to make myself tired. Mm-hmm. So I'm not tired.
Yeah. And would you say even getting into bed, like, do you spend a substantial time on your phone or in bed?
I go bitch, yeah. Like, I wouldn't go to sleep without looking at the phone.
So sleep, definitely a solid 7 hours, we should aim for anyway, you know. Like, what time do you get up at?
About 9ish, I guess. Depends on, like, the kids will be going to school and all that, you know.
One thing they used to say, and they don't know, like, the hours before 12 are worth twice the amount. It's tough But I do find it like
before 12 at night.
Yeah, they always used to say that them hours are very severe. Now, really, your deep sleep cycle is like 2 or 3 in the morning if you sleep from before 12.
Yeah,
which is where you conk out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the best for you, like you know. But be worth trying it once or twice a week to see if it's any distance. Now, different people sleep at different hours and they have different routines. But if you tried 10:30, it might be a shocker. But once or twice in the beginning.
Yeah, actually, there could be times there like you'd be watching telly and I'd be falling asleep on the couch and Greg would be like, "You should go to bed."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not tired."
One eye open.
2 eyes closed. I'm not tired.
Just gone to bed there. No, but it would be worth like to see if that I find that true.
Yeah.
That even if I'm up later on the weekends and I get the same hours as I do in here, I'm much more tired because it must be something to do with the hours earlier. I think it is, and there is research on both sides saying it's true, it's not true. What's what works for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Where to fit in exercise is another thing. Work schedule, kids schedule. Do you struggle with that at all, or would you have a portion of the day where it could easily happen?
I've thought about this a million times in my head, and I think the best time, if I got the sleep under control, if I got up early and did a nice walk or a jog or something in the morning. That way I have it out of the way and I'm back to help with the kids to get them ready for school. That way I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I left it till later in the day, that's when the kids want to hang out with you, they want to play with you, and and you feel bad for leaving them.
Yeah.
Like I used to feel bad. Like Jackson was young at the time when I was doing the initial kind of fitness there back a few years ago. So he didn't have the demands he has now. He's nearly 6 now, so he wants to play.
Yeah.
So, and I can't really say no to him.
Yeah, I know there is that as well, but it's a balance, I guess, you know. Like Kyron does often say to me, going up the door, will you play this? I'm just going for a quick run first. But you can fit both in, you know, if you do it right.
Oh yeah, if you do it right. I just I haven't figured out my time. So that's definitely one of my main priorities, is to try and fit as much as I can in.
Yeah.
And not be wasting time like I do sitting down on Facebook or whatever. You just get sucked into that. Yeah. It's such a hard habit to break.
And then you wonder, what did you actually look up at all?
Yeah, you're just looking at nothing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a habit to. It's boredom, you know.
It is. It's like you you come home and you're sitting down after the dinner, and you without even knowing it, you're on the phone. And you're like, I don't even remember picking the thing up.
I think we all struggle with it a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the culture of it now. But you find if you look at it too much, you get tired. And oftentimes you come in from work and you sit down. Once you sit in that couch, you're gone.
That's it.
Your percentages of getting out for that run or walk.
Oh, as soon as I stop moving.
And you crash then, because your body's like,
you do
relax subconsciously. Even you feel it getting towards the house if you're driving home. Unless you know you're going to go out for a walk, and you had that in your head, you'll start to shut down.
That's it.
So it would be good aiming for like every second, or knowing what day you want to do it. Like a walk every day would be unreal.
Yeah.
Is it realistic? It depends on your.
Depends
thing,
on.
But every second day definitely you should be aiming for.
Yeah.
And also, you know, your goal weight and the goal body fat, right? So we're saying realistically within a year, hopefully 3 to 4 stone, you know, within a year.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is a lot, but you might find it drop a good bit. Well, say you're 22 now. If you were 19
would be good in a year.
That's like 3 stone.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not unrealistic, I think.
Yeah.
You know? You might find a combination of these things work, you know what I mean, rather than just going out walking. You know, the diet or the fasting or cutting out this and the walking or whatever could cut it massively. But look, what I think as well is that we can reassess, we can quarterly weigh in, and then we can adjust, you know what I mean, so that it's not just I see you next year. It's like how, right, okay, well maybe this isn't working. Or maybe
do you think I even should weigh in myself? Should I just leave it and not even think about it?
If you weigh in yourself, I'd leave it a month in between, definitely, because otherwise you're gonna wonder why, and your motivation will rise and drop. And a week basis is not accurate anyway. You know, it's a solid month. 4 weeks they say for you to notice a change in yourself. So that's what you'll be looking at. It'll be a tough 4 weeks initially, but once you see it the second month going in, that's the same result you cut in the first month. That's when the motivation hits. So sometimes in this, there's a period of mental strength that needs to be built from the get-go, you know. You had a 5k goal.
Yeah.
And you know, the real goal here as well from the beginning would be progression, so running without stopping for a certain distance, and then pace will come then with that, you know what I mean. So like, I know it's 25 or 26 minutes.
25 dead is probably used to it.
It's a great pace, really good pace. So like, you know, aiming for 5k first without stopping probably be the initial goal. Even 3k, you know, you start.
It's definitely up there, because when I was running, I loved it.
Yeah, and there's great apps. Couch to 5k, there's a great app and stuff like that. But really, it's winding back the pace actually increases your distance. Yeah. And I used to be going out and trying to run fast,
but I've never done a run more than 5k. Yeah. I hit the 5k and I'm like, all right, that's it.
Yeah,
you know, so I've never pushed it either. So I want to get back down there, have a nice, decent 5k, and then see where I can take it.
Yeah, and look,
please God,
things that help our heart rate monitor and fitness tracker obviously as well. But the phone can do it, and we can, you know, you can do it from the get go without spending a lot of money on things, right? So we're going to jump on the thought then, right? The second thing. So this is actually, to me, where you excel in certain ways, because I think that you absorb a lot of information with your podcasts and things like that. You have a range of different topics you listen to, and you know, that'd be true in saying, wouldn't it? Like you are constantly devouring stuff.
Mad.
Yeah.
Like even like, I think over the last month, I think I've even dialed it back a bit, because it's just turning into noise. There's just so much information flying out from everywhere.
But you're absorbing it though, aren't you?
Well, I think I am. I hope I am.
Yeah.
I hope I'm absorbing what I'm supposed to be absorbing out of it.
Yeah, but it's like shit on a wall, isn't it? Like it's something that'll stick, like, you know.
Like that Jordan Peterson one. Did you listen to all of it? The Bible series.
I didn't listen to all of it.
It was.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours, man. Like, and you know, it's probably part of why I haven't got through it all.
Yeah, but like it was a lot, and like I couldn't tell you right now. I couldn't tell you one thing I remember from it.
Yeah,
do you know? And like I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan, but I also listened to a lot of just fiction, you know, like audiobooks and stuff. Like I just finished one there the other day, and it was fantastic. I just like switching off, and I just get into that world of imagining and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think that's unreal for your mental strength and all that. Like, you know, because Joe Rogan and Peterson and all that, they're all talking about, you know, better yourself.
Yeah, it's better. Like then I'm listening to it and I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck aren't I bettering myself? I'm just like, I'm listening to it, but I'm not hearing it. Do you know what I mean?
But they're the guys who still listen to, like, you know what I mean, in terms of these things. Like, you pull massive. Like, you know, I was saying to you, like, I have that Akira the Dawn thing, you know, and that has Joe Rogan stuff on as well as Jordan Peterson stuff. But you know, just finding that stuff, I would say, like, in terms of one massive thing would be if you've a set of headphones, and getting a playlist for your workouts. You're walking, you can listen to podcasts, fine. When you're doing that bit of running, probably
I've never listened to a podcast when I was moving anyways quickly. You know, I like music. I like something with a bit of beat to it. I don't know, and you'll probably find easily songs that throw onto it. Yeah, so like, do you have a workout playlist? I actually I started one on Spotify there this week. I just call it running, so whenever I get a song, I just like add it to playlist. And so I have that ready to go for when I actually start running. Do you know what I mean? Well, that's massive. Like, you know, they say you can go 25% longer with good music. So we're there. Like, the mental strength of things, like, is good. Like, you did say to me there recently, like, you know, you disliked the kind of guy you saw in the mirror, you know. You put it in stronger words than that, you know. But like, that would be a tough way, you know. I know you're looking at yourself that way, and it's because of, you know, your expectations of yourself and how much you think you've dived down. Yeah, like, I look at myself and I feel like I let myself down by just letting myself go. You know, and like, I'm looking, I'm like, why are you doing this? And like, I couldn't give you a reason why I do it. You know what I mean? It's just sheer, just stupidity. You know, not just ignorance. You know what I mean? So like, now that's some days I could look in the mirror and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I hate this guy. Like, you know, like, it just I'm hard on myself. Like, and that's one of my fucking downfalls, because when I get hard on myself, there's no talking to me. But sometimes I look and it's like, right, you can remedy it. It's not too late. It's fine. Absolutely. Do you know? And but like it's just hard to keep positive, you know.
Yeah, motivated with it. Well, like if it's an underlying disappointment you have, well, at least it's realistic. Like, you know, the one thing I don't like is the you know, people who are heavier and they make excuses for being heavier in terms of, you ever seen the body positive movement where it's kind of like, we're fat and we're proud, like, you know, that's what they were going, like, you know, and it's kind of like other people were like, well, visceral fat is the most dangerous thing.
Well, it's easy to buy into that, especially when you're big.
Like all you need is an excuse to say, yeah, fuck it, like, you know. But like, as humans, we're not meant to have excess fat, you know.
Like, Rogan does go on about that as well. It's like, it's stupid. You're overweight. You're killing yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like that the fat around your stomach
is the worst.
It's visceral fat, and that's
where it all is.
That's like cancer, and that's stuff that takes you over. Yeah. So it's not aesthetics or I want to look great. It's health. It's longevity.
Health. Right now, like, because I have kids, because I have a wife, because I have a family, I want to be there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do you know? I this is, like I say, it's potentially a killer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go before my time.
Yeah.
So that's why I should start now and do it.
Well, a couple of things, like you're in terms of the mental health, job satisfaction is a big thing. You'd be someone who'd be happy with what you're doing.
I drive for a living, and I love driving.
Yeah.
Do you know? So like, it obviously it has its ups and downs, the same as any other job.
Yeah.
You have to put up with, you know, the shit stuff too. But generally, the job is good. I like driving. I like being out on the road.
Yeah.
I don't like being out in the rain. Other than that, it's all like good.
At least it's a massive thing that you don't need to address.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely don't hate it.
Yeah. Well, like, hobbies on the side. Anything?
Nothing physical.
Nothing physical
At the moment. Do you know, like, I do want to get out there. Like, I want to go out there and walk the dog. Love doing it. And just got lazy with that as well, and just want to remedy that because I love doing it.
Yeah.
Right now, hobbies are sedentary, Xbox crap. Do you know,
just chilling out, getting the mind off things.
Yeah.
Well, like, the running and all probably won't be a hobby. It probably turn into a lifestyle thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I want it to be. I don't want it to be a hobby. I want this to be my life. I want this to be what I do. I want to live a healthy lifestyle.
Because a lot of people lose weight and they say, I'll lose weight for my wedding, I'll lose weight for and then they stop because they have to go.
A million times I've done it.
Yeah.
And you lose that bit of weight, and then you're like, grand, goal reached. Then you get to that wedding, you get to that goal, and you're like, right, grand,
I deserve to chill out now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and stick with it.
But like the feeling of feeling better should carry it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the bug, and you do. You know, like, you've obviously you've been there.
Yeah.
So like also, if you're missing the regular exercise, you're missing the endorphins that it releases. You know, the good mood stuff that continues for the rest of the day. You know, into the next day, which is massive. You know, you find it walking 3 days a week. You will find like
you do think that, like, because like if you don't get them, or if you know you should have got them, there was time there and you were just lazy, that just like it makes you angry.
Yeah.
You know, and like that would definitely be a thing of, if I am angry, that's pretty much the reason, because I know I haven't done what I could have done to make myself better.
Yeah. Well, you know, as well, when you're going to be looking at going out for a walk, and you'll see what calories you lose from that actively, but your body is in fat burning mode, then your metabolism is at speeding up, so the rest of the day you're actually burning fat, and how much your heart rate is increased by 10 roughly, so you're going to be burning fat in every movement you do. When you walk up the stairs, you're going to be burning, you know, an extra quarter times of what you would, you know. So if you think about that in terms of getting in your exercise, even if it's a walk, increase your heart rate, you know, you continue to burn fat, you continue to release that, and it's just motivation to think of, well, at least for the rest of the day, if I get this done, it's not like I'm done. It's still working. You know, it lasts a long time. So then at least we know mental as well. Happier in general would be a mental aim.
Oh yeah. It'd be just nice to be level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not too angry, not too happy, not too sad. Like, right now, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Just want a nice level
balance.
Balance, exactly, balance.
So, like, at least we know there anyway what we're aiming at, you know, thought-wise, and how the physical elements will help that.
Yeah.
Truth. So, well, let's talk about how we got to the room right now in terms of the sequences of events, you know, that maybe self-reflections that you're angry at yourself as well, like, that got you to here, you know. You know, that there is... We've talked it out a good bit. Like, obviously, we weren't talking much this time last year at all. Probably, you know.
Probably didn't even, like, we knew each other. That was it.
Yeah. So, like we said at the start, if we'd said we'd be sitting here having this chat, fucking someone say, what are you talking about? But even if I thought the year I've had has been very impactful, so I want to, you know, from whatever I can gain from what year I've had, the diets I've done, with the podcast, the knowledge I picked up from like Quinn and Noel and my strength and conditioning course, and from talking to people who are much more qualified than me on this, I'm hoping that, you know, that it would help for your year to also change in that.
Oh yeah, like like I'm sitting on the outside looking in, listening, and like it's really an amazing thing, really.
Yeah, but it does, like I'm a different guy than I was last year. The year before that, it was a different guy again. The year before that, so obviously, when we sat down, we got talking about a lot of stuff. Yeah. One thing I did say to you was, one of the first people I said is that I want to do this podcast, and I just figured out in my mind, this is what I want to do, and I have one schedule, and it's about to take off, and I hope it will. One thing we got into was also faith and how important it became in my life of recent times, and you know, we were kind of talking one-on-one on that. You had said this was kind of, it had come up.
It was bubbling. There
was something you were, maybe in the back of your mind, it was kind of resurfacing. But I've obviously said what happened to me in the space of a year. Since that year, where would you think that your faith would have still grown in terms of, has it increased at all?
Yes, it definitely is increased. Like I don't go to mass. I don't believe in that side of it.
Yes.
But I do pray, and like if like I use it, I use prayer as a tool for. Doesn't work every time, but if I'm in a bad humor or I'm angry, I walk away, say a few prayers. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I do believe that there's a God, and I believe in Jesus, and I think there's a serious power there.
Yeah, but when we had that chat in Mayo, would you have thought that, or would you be bordering it?
It's hard to really explain. Really, like it was a thing that I was brought up with, and went away from it then as soon as I could, really. It was like, this is all bollocks. But now that I'm grown up, and I just feel like in my mind that there has to be something. There has to be something more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, me and Paddy got into that age of the earth stuff the last time, and that was a bit crazy for me.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I would think that, you know, there's certain strains. There's, you know, you have Christianity, then you have Catholicism, and, you know, possibly you have Mormons, you have all these kind of guys that pop up who lead certain things. What really helped me was, like, I said that I told you something that happened to me that had relieved an awful lot of stress from me, and it was, you know, everyone says, you know, they have their demons, and unfortunately mine just seemed a bit realer than I would have hoped, you know. But when I as a skeptic had said something that I heard, something changed, and it forced me to re-look at the whole thing again. But Catholicism was something I couldn't, like, going to the church and that I couldn't get into, couldn't wrap my head around, and I could see the scandals, and I could see all that, and
it's hard to look past that.
So then I was looking at, like, well, hang on, where am I then? Like, if I don't believe in it, or do I? And then it took me a while to realise that when I opened the book, the things that were saying were so full of wisdom, and they were completely different. It was just not the filtered down, man-made, you know, formed ways of power, like corrupt organisations can be. you're getting it straight from the words of, and there was massive things that helped me, you know. But I have to say, I did feel that influence, and I think that spurs me on. It's why I think that it's part of the health, the overall health, because it makes your life feel a bit more appreciative and more meaningful. You know,
if you're that way inclined. If you're not, then whatever beliefs you have is fine. You know?
Yeah. But like, if you believed in a higher power, or that you have a worth more than bacteria and cells, you know, or just by chance, you might have that bit more appreciation for, well, maybe I am worth something more that I can work on myself, you know. That's a great thing to keep you motivated as well, to go through, you know.
Like what was that thing you sent to me the last day? It was on Messenger. What was it?
YouTubing?
Yeah, it was the YouTube thing about
who are you? Jesus Christ, who are you?
Yeah. That was incredible, man.
Yeah, it's good. Like, I personally, what happened to me was, and I talk about this as in the spirit in terms of this is the motivation. Where I get it now from is, like, I was saying this a few minutes ago, like, when I drove here today, there's like a fiery kind of feeling, like, of motivation I get, and I've only got it in the last few years. And it's like when I know I'm doing the right thing, or when something, you know, when I'm doing certain things, it happens. It is what's been with me ever since that. And I think if people had that, you know, it's colossal.
Is that your fire?
I think, yeah, but I also think it's the spirit of, you know, the Holy Spirit in riling me as well. You know, let me know I'm in the right place. You know. You know, Jesus did say in his way, you know, if every man must be born again and born of the Spirit, and the gift you will get is the Spirit. And I think it sounds far-fetched and it sounds hard to talk about, but if you get that feeling riled up, it's like when you do something meaningful, you know you're in the right place, because your body and your mind allow you to believe, and it's good for everything I do from there. Seems positive, you know. But, you know, it's a motivational thing where I do think that I delved into, you know.
See that you did an awful lot of study into it.
I did. Which
I haven't done. Like, I got a Bible and all that stuff. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
I think that will come when it's time.
It's a natural process of things. You know, when you sit down and you say, well, I might open it today, and you might highlight a few lines. A lot of people do this, and they have a highlight and say, shit, that's a good one. And you know, they can go back over it and put out the pieces.
It's like I've seen Bibles before, and they're complex to read. Do you know, especially like when you get the ones with the really tiny writing, like,
and the old language.
It's hard to make sense of.
It is, and you know, but there's so much wisdom in that New Testament that I think is massive for, you know, how you view your overall life. It's amazing, really. But I do think that there's a line in the New Testament, and I think you might have heard it as well. It's the Matthew principle, and basically it's, to those who have everything, more will be given. Those who have nothing, everything will be taken. And it's basically a description of how the world works, they say. So the more, it's kind of like the more you wander off the path towards the edge, the higher you increase the fall off the path.
As in the risk you take in.
It's like if you go off, you know, what we were saying about our health here, you know, the further you go off that path of healthiness in this way, or your mental health, the further you come to it, you know, the increased chance that you'll fall off the edge and you'll keep going that way.
So it's the risk towards reward kind of thing. Yeah.
But the closer, every little step you get, every bit of weight you lose, every bit of something you do that makes you feel good, the higher your overall probability increases that you'll stay on that path and you solidify it. So what I say, if you take some of this stuff for a month, it's saying like that has increased your chance by 10 or 15%, you know, that you will stay on that path, you know. And that's what they say.
It's like what you put into it, you're going to get back out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But if you allow yourself to do nothing, you will hit the edge, is basically, you know. And the edge isn't that. It's sometimes surprise people how close it can be, you know, especially mental health wise, you know. Yeah. But no, I think it's like, how far off would you feel off that path at the moment?
I can probably see the path from where I am.
Yeah.
That kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah. Close to the path and the edge.
Close to it. Probably not being able to make sense of it all, really.
Yeah.
And like, if I could put it all into perspective, I think I'd be on the path.
Yeah.
If you get me.
Yeah, because
I just have to focus on what I want and where I want to be, and I think it's a straight road from there.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that like because you've done this transformation before, you know what I mean. So it's just reincorporating what you already know.
Yeah.
So like at least you know.
I think that path and this path are different.
Right.
Like I think it's going to be. I think this path is going to be harder for some strange reason. I think it's going to be harder than it was back then.
Yeah.
But
not getting any younger, you know.
No, exactly. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like I think I'm going to have to put more of myself into this one, because I think this is the line in the sand.
I think we'll have to walk away from today with going forward. This is same Tom.
Yeah.
But with a life goal.
Yeah.
And the injury hit you hard last time. But we can build on that straight away.
Yeah,
you know,
there's ways around it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I'm going off the truth side of things, what I can say is that, you know, me and you spoke about it a good bit from Mayo, and you've asked me questions about it, and like I will continue. Like I love talking about it. Obviously, you know. So like I can, if there is stuff that you're struggling with, saying, I do think the only reason why I think it helps, because it does give you that appreciation. It centers you, it grounds you, and it just helps you. I know, like, you can get arguments with people about it. It's, for some reason, a lot of people are very hot-headed about it.
It's a tough one to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know? I have my beliefs, you have your beliefs. Mm-hmm. Whether it be the same or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's
it. You know, it's whatever.
But
you
it is
want
taken personally. Like, I know I was attacked personally when I went through a transformation, as I said, and I was not angry anymore. I was like, this is working great for me. People I thought would have been happy about that weren't, and it really took me back. You know, it was kind of, they beat me down a bit when I progressed over such a hard hurdle I'd strive for years, and I was trying to figure out why, even if that was your belief, why would you like destroy mine if I wasn't going around? You know,
I think it's people don't think about it.
Yeah, it's true, and our beliefs
just
make
a reaction.
Yes, yeah.
It's just a reaction, because like there is a lot of bad press for the religion.
Yes.
But for the belief, it's different. It's not the religion.
Yeah, and I think it's important to separate that.
Yeah.
You know,
religion's man-made.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know, like it's harder to stop a religion than it is to stop an idea. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think I heard that somewhere before. Yeah, don't quote me on that. I could be totally wrong.
Tom, written in your grave, Tom.
That could be totally wrong. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, I think it gives you, like, it drives me anyway, and that could be a personal thing, but I think it does help an awful lot. Appreciation-wise, going through it, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, if there is anything on that, I can answer as best I can as well. Yeah. You know, support is all important in this, right? And me and you talked about, you know, make friends with people who want the best for you, you know. Yeah. And I know as well, you told me before, Gretzky is your rock,
big time.
That's massive, you know what I mean? Like, to have someone at home who can, you know, be behind you, like, and carry you on that. And I know that she's, like, even from you put up a post the other day, and she straight away, you know, the love heart's there, you know, and like, you can just see it, that obviously she's rooting for you, and you have, obviously I'm rooting for you, Paddy there, you know, the
support was a bit overwhelming, because like there was people that I haven't talked to in years.
It shocked me, even, like,
came out of the woodwork there for that one.
Well, even when we promoted this, it just lit up straight away, you know, and I was looking, getting these notifications on my phone, what's going on here, you know, but it just shows you that everyone's rooting for you, you know.
Yeah, if it sparks fire in anyone, then all the better.
Yeah, and like that, like, you ever see the Operation Transformation leaders? Yeah, you'll get.
I don't want to be a leader.
No, but you are, though, in a way, because it will spark someone else who's like in a worse position you were in. Say, fuck it, I could do this too, you know. And what way did he do it? Or listen to this, you know. And especially if you're getting results from it, you know. It's a tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to weigh in like that. You know what I mean? It
is. I was hesitant, even though, like, if I would have talked to you before and said, "Hey, we weigh in, no problem," I'd be like, "Yeah, no problem." But actually doing it was He was hesitant.
It
was very strange.
If you leave, your insecurities at the door, like you really have. But it's a truth device. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's good to know exactly where you are. Sometimes you knew where you are, but to get it in detail.
Yeah.
The body fat is all important. Really,
yeah. But it's like this isn't me and you talking. This is going out into the world, which is
No, it's true.
Scary.
And look, so what I did is I did get a few things prepared for you to give you a kickstart, right? So this is the success pack, right?
Jesus Christ. This is the success pack.
But that was only the last minute. I stuck a name on it, right? So that's just a cover.
It was worth it.
What I've done here is these are your specific heart rate zones, right? And this is what we're going to be looking at in terms of zone 1 is like once you're in 112, right, up to 149, that's good, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's what we'll be looking at is 112 to 149 is your aerobic. So you're going to be, when you're walking, you're going to be hitting that, right?
Yeah.
So that's good to know. It's zone 2 is really where we want to be going, okay? This is warm up.
This is our starting off. Zone 2 is our starting off, like.
Yeah, so this is warm up, and this is the zone, right? That is going to be aerobic base. It's going to be building you. This will be the next zone then, and we work up to it so that it's easier and it builds your fitness and it makes the rest of it easier. So that's just a brief rundown on your zones, 50 to 60%, which is here, and where it is. Okay, so that's that. The other thing here is the base building, what I said, then the building up, then the tapering. Right? Okay, so. And that's what a breakdown of what it is, okay?
Yeah.
So that's just a couple of things and maybe some suggestions. Good podcast and a walk, good playlist and a jog, and some suggestions of stuff that, will help you do it, The next is these exercises I said for building the Achilles tendon, right? So this is, I specifically picked these ones because they're beginner start and it goes through it and stuff you can do at home, you know what I mean? And you can progress to that step then where you can go both ways from doing the one where you're seated.
Yeah.
Even just, the stretches. So that's some of that, because that's one thing we will tackle.
Yeah.
This is just foods to avoid. 12 basic foods you can avoid for building. For cutting weight, trying to lose weight. That's from Healthline. And I thought that's a good rundown of, just stuff like you can focus on to cut. And that this is the fasting, just an overview on the beginner's guide to fasting, just another way of looking at it. So I thought that might be, I know it's a bit of reading in it, but hopefully that's it there, right?
Yeah.
So another thing I'll do then is, this is a foam roller, right, that you can take on, right, that for building your calf so that if you get any soreness, so this is like a massage, right? So the way they do it, the flat is if someone was giving you a palm massage. If you need something more intense, that's what that's there for, okay? So that's the stuff anyway that you can take. And I got you one more thing for just to kick you off, right? It's not a big thing.
That's too much.
This is one thing I did say was that a heart rate monitor would be important. So I got that. These are a couple of things, right? So and a GPS watch, right? So this is going to be for your walking and monitoring your health, right? To go. That's just
Jesus, Anto.
Well, look, it's not. I tell you, it wasn't much. I put it together this week, and it's just a way to get you going, to give you a bit of support. This will lock in. It's just a basic one. You know what I mean? It's nothing too fancy, but it'll pick up your GPS. That'll do your heart rate. You'll be able to look at it and know you're in the heart rate zone. So it's not, so you're getting going straight away anyway, right? So that's the success pack. Oh, look, it should just give you a head start in it anyway, And what I wanted to do now that you might, I don't know how you feel about it, but if we get you on Strava, it's a free app, and I put the link on this podcast to people who can follow you and support you for your walks, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I think that we get going, and that's it then. Like in a year's time, it'll be March 14th or around that. We can come back and I'll take videos along the way, and every quarter we can weigh in. We can have a cup of coffee and sit down and see, where you are and what to adjust. And look, you'll have Roe there because he's been inviting us to. You'll have Derry there who's egging you on, and Gretzky and stuff like that. So I think that's the pack you need, man. This is what you need to go. So
Actually, I'm overwhelmed by that, man.
well, it's not like it's. I wouldn't. Don't think too much about it.
It's the small things, man. Like,
that's a manual for it if you want to get going on it. But that is. So look, that's it there anyway. So look, wish you all the best. I'm going to be with you doing it anyway. So look, don't worry about that, and that's it, man. So we're going to run a fitness plan and all.
Aye, hashtag year to change.
Hashtag year to change. This is it, man. So we know what the goals are.
Yeah.
We've laid them out. We know the time span.
Yep.
We have the equipment, and we're just going to go for it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Happy days.
Let's do it.
Good man, Tom.
Sound, man. Cheers, Anton, man.